Hello friends, Zachary Stockill here from RetroactiveJealousy.com, and in today's video I'm responding to a viewer who is worried or troubled by the fact that his girlfriend did things with her ex that she won't do with him. If you benefit from this video, if you benefit from my work in general, or if you have any questions or comments for me, please be sure to let me know by leaving a comment below, being sure you like this video, and making sure you are subscribed to my channel. Okay, today's email comes from Danny. Danny writes, "Hey Zachary, another great video." Thank you, Danny. What would be the ideal way to react to knowing that your partner has done something with an ex but hasn't done the same thing with you? All right. Unfortunately, this is a fairly common scenario, particularly for male retroactive jealousy sufferers. And by the way, whenever I specify between the genders, when I talk about, I'm getting more emails about this from men, or I'm getting more emails about this from women, I never mean that I never get emails from the opposite sex or a different sex, regarding any of this stuff. When I talk about retroactive jealousy and various experiences of retroactive jealousy, and I include some gendered component, what I mean is basically, the majority of the emails I get of this nature are from men or from women. I'm not trying to say that no women struggle with this. However, I get this kind of email a lot from men. And the first thing I would say to you, Danny, is I get it. I understand why this would bother you. I think this would bug a lot of men, but I think the way you're framing this is not ideal. And I don't mean to use the word ideal ironically. The way you framed this is, what did you write? What would be the ideal way to react knowing that your partner's done things with her ex that she won't do with you? I don't like framing this way of reacting in terms of it being ideal or perfect or anything like that. Longtime viewers of my channel, listeners to my podcast, will know that I really don't like the language of describing human behavior or people or emotions in terms of ideal or perfect. In other words, your reaction is your reaction, and frankly, you are entitled to have whatever reaction you're having to this current scenario, which I gather is not very pleasant to deal with. You also didn't include more details in terms of exactly what I'm going to assume your girlfriend did with her ex that she won't do with you. I'm going to assume it's something sexual. I'm assuming you're not talking about going to the zoo or taking a swim at the beach together. I'm going to assume you're talking about something sexual. Something sexual she did with her ex that she won't do with you. So I'm going to have to try to keep this clean for YouTube, which will be a struggle, but here I go. My first question would be, how important is this thing to you on a scale of 1 to 10? The reason I ask that question is because I think a lot of guys in this scenario, they don't even really care so much about the thing that their girlfriend won't do. It's really not about the act itself, it's about what the act represents, or at least could potentially represent, which I'll get into in a moment. However, before I get into that, ask yourself, how important is this on a scale from 1 to 10? Is this a deal breaker for you? I doubt it is, but hey, that's possible, and if that is a genuine deal breaker for you, then so be it. Because what gets repressed, particularly things that are sexually repressed, in general often gets expressed. How many, closeted gay preachers have we seen, rolling up in hotel rooms and at truckside stops, or evangelical Republicans who it comes out later that even though they were really anti-gay, that they're on the, on the side of the freeway with some random guy. I mean, what gets repressed eventually gets expressed. And this often translates into cheating in long-term relationships. If there's something that you really need, whether it's sexual or anything else, eventually you will seek that out somewhere else. So ask yourself, how important is this to you really? Because if it's a serious deal breaker issue, if it feels like in your gut you really need this thing, then you might need to ask yourself some pretty difficult questions about the future of your relationship. But my main point in this video, and the point that I really want to stress more than anything else, is ask yourself, what does this act or non-act, what does this thing represent to you? And what do you think it tells you about how your girlfriend feels about you? Because if I was to put myself in your girlfriend's position, there are many possible explanations in terms of why she won't do this thing that she did with her ex. Maybe she didn't enjoy this thing at all. Maybe she grew and changed and discovered that, that thing just really doesn't appeal to her at all. It's unpleasant or whatever, Maybe the explanation here is more simple than you might realize. It might be simply what she's telling you, that maybe she's telling you, I tried it, I didn't like it, and I'm moving on, and it's my body, and it's my choice, and it's my right. And of course, your girlfriend doesn't owe you sex or a certain sexual act or a certain anything. Again, I'm not trying to say that you should just live with things that are, or a situation that is intolerable to you. Of course not. But no one owes you sex, and neither does your girlfriend or wife. However, my hunch is that you suspect that this thing that your girlfriend won't do with you represents a larger, deeper, more important issue, which could be your girlfriend isn't as attracted to you as she was to her ex. Or possibly she is not as in love with you as she was with her ex, which is unfortunately entirely possible. I always say, if you really want to know who someone is, pay little attention to what they say, watch what they do. Because if your girlfriend is saying that she's super into you and she's super in love with you and she's super attracted to you and all these things, but you have sex once a month or worse, or your sex life is mediocre and you kind of feel like she really isn't into it, or you just feel in your gut that she doesn't have that burning desire for you that you want from her, well, that's probably a situation that you need to really think hard about and really try to get to the bottom of and think about what is the real problem here? What is really going on? Is it simply that she's not into certain things anymore that she was into in the past? Or is the problem our relationship? Is the problem our compatibility, whether it's sexual compatibility or anything else? These are important questions that you should probably spend some time and think about because, again, this issue probably isn't going to go away on its own. Now, coming back to your girlfriend, there's a chance that she might change her mind at some point, of course. She might get curious about this thing again or want to try it again, or she might become closer to you or feel more trusting with you or whatever it is. But if you're getting this feeling that this situation is representative of a broader pattern in your relationship, a bigger problem, this is where outside perspective can come in very handy, whether it's talking to a therapist or a coach or a close friend or a trusted family member, someone like that. But really spend some time by yourself thinking about what this could represent. Don't drive yourself crazy with this because, again, the explanation could be very simple. But my hunch is that if you're writing to me about this and if this is really on your mind, the explanation might be a little more complicated. And frankly, as I tell people all the time, your deal breakers are your deal breakers. Your values are your values. You should spend a lot of time, I think, getting very, very clear about what you want out of a relationship, out of a partner, etc., etc. And I don't think you should apologize for that. I don't think I should apologize for what I want from a partner, and I don't think you should apologize for what you want either. So spend some time, journal, reflect, really think about this hard, and if necessary, you can talk to your girlfriend and ask her just open-ended questions about how she's feeling in the relationship and how she feels about you. And most importantly, aside from those important questions, pay attention to her behavior with you. How is she acting with you? What does your gut tell you about how she really feels about you? Because getting in touch with our intuition, getting in touch with our gut feeling about a lot of these issues can be extremely valuable. So thanks for your question. Thanks for watching this video. I'd love to know from anyone watching this, what do you guys think? Am I way off base here? Do you have a different take on this situation? Do you have any more questions or comments for me? Please be sure to let me know by leaving a comment below, making sure you like this video, and if you're just passing through and you'd like more content like this, be sure you are subscribed to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again very soon.